transitioning into what everybody's been waiting for. Well, it's been asked of us, and we actually did do this, and then we decided that, you know what?
Scrap it.
We're going to scrap it, and we're going to do another one because we didn't like the way it turned out. We're going to do the 2018 Chicago Bears schedule breakdown. And I'm just going to spew off right now what my finishing record is going to be. My finishing record is...
I didn't even do that.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, then we won't do it that way.
No, go ahead.
Okay, well...
Take your time.
Our finishing record is going to be, in my mind, how I just broke everything down. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think we're either going to be 7-9 or 8-8. When I broke down the record when I broke down the games, just looking at everything and looking how things fall, I do think that we're going to be 7-9 or 8-8. Like, we could get a game in there. I don't think it's our year yet. I really hope I'm wrong because I would love to go to some playoff football games, but
that'd be something.
We're not making the playoffs. I guarantee that. But into our schedule breakdown, going into game one here, we're
go ahead, go nuts about at home against the Packers.
Yeah.
I need just 2 seconds.
That's no problem. It's at Lambeau Field for I believe it's the 100th year anniversary of Lambeau Field. I do think that we're getting a win there. And the reason I say that is I think that all the newbies are coming out to play hard. They're going to try to show what they're all about. Mitch is in his second year under a new offense, and Green Bay's defense isn't all that in a bag of chips. So, I'm going to say that I think that the Bears steal that one. Interesting tidbit about the Packers. I don't know if you saw what Jason Witten said, but he did say that Dez Bryant to the Packers might be a lock. So
really,
yeah, that kind of sucks. But I ain't scared. But I think that we pick up a win against the Packers in Week 1 at Lambeau Field for the 100th year anniversary.
All right, and I also do because I think that there's going to be no tape on Matt Nagy's offense. I mean, realistically, there's going to be some preseason games we're going to be able to look at, but I don't think there's going to be enough to really game plan. And I think that the team at the status it's at, and from what we've heard out of mini camps and training camps coming up, within the next couple months here, they really like playing for Nagy. I think that they'll be energized going into Lambeau Field. I'm going to take the Bears to win this one. I don't know about handily, and I think this might be like the first kind of wrinkle in this year that we look at and we're like, man, the Bears really got it right. Getting Nagy, getting the wide receivers. They're going to have a lot of playmakers on the field. Obviously, the Vic Fangio defense is going to be very similar to what it was last year, but you're going to have different playmakers inside and outside that you're going to be able to lean on. I think that this is a game that kind of matches up good for the Bears because I'm a creature of habit, at least I know I am, and I know players are as well. And when you throw in a ceremony or something else that throws the player clock off, it's tough. It's tough to stay focused, especially if you're the team that the ceremony is for. So I'm not going to say that the Bears are going to blow them out because that's not going to happen because Packers-Bears games are usually close. They come down to 1 or 2 plays. But I think this is the first time that you really look at what the Bears have here and you say, man, we really actually have a normal coach, a normal guy, a good quarterback, and we're building here. I think this season, as much as let's make the playoffs, It'd be great. I'd love to make the playoffs. I think this is one of these seasons that you're going to have to look at and say, what were the many points of the season that showed me that I'm on the right track here? Because if they make the playoffs, they're not a Super Bowl contender. They're just not. They're probably a one and done and a wild card team that's going to have to go on the road to win a game to stay. But I just don't see the schedule, the way it plays out at the end of the year. It's very tough.
Right. Well, it's the 8th hardest schedule in the league. It's going to be tough for them.
So. Right. So, but yeah, I do think that they win the first game of the season.
All right. Well, I actually have them winning at home Monday Night Football against Seattle. I'm not scared of Seattle's team. Their defense is depleted. Russell Wilson's good. Obviously he's a good quarterback. They don't really have much to work with over there in Seattle. They got Doug Baldwin. There's no one I'm scared of. And their running game's questionable. Defense ain't all that. We're going to win that game. I think that we're going to be starting off 2-0 here. against the Seahawks, and then after that, I think I'll tell you what I think after we get what you think.
That's the thing too. I have a hard time giving them the 2-0 nod because a lot of teams that start 2-0 usually make the playoffs, and I just don't. I think that there's some holes on this team still that a guy like Russell Wilson is going to be able to expose. And a lot of people have talked about the pass rush, and on a guy like that, you're going to have to keep him in the pocket and obviously not let him beat you with his feet. And this is one of these games that I was coin flipped on because I get your point that nothing on their roster really does scare you, but they're still coached by Pete Carroll, who I think is a great coach. I wouldn't say he's like the top coach in the league because obviously that's Bill Belichick, but I put Pete in like the top of the echelon there. But you're right. Their defense is depleted. They're rebuilding the defense, but I can't give them the 2-0 nod because that, to me, that means that they're going to make the playoffs, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to, if they start off 2-0, that it's going to necessarily mean they make the playoffs. Because
look at the stats, though.
I'm sure there are stats.
70% usually make the playoffs.
Right. I see them taking the first two games, and then we're going to start going on a little bit of an L streak here. Arizona is the next game, and I do believe that is at Arizona. It is at Arizona.
It is.
My computer's going crazy right now. Oh my gosh, my stuff just shut down on me. Oh boy,
that's not good.
It's the internet, not the app we're recording on.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, just the internet. So, that's fantastic, dude. Just stupid ass computer. Anyway, I don't know who's going to be starting at Week 3's time for Arizona, but I do know that they have a good quarterback in Sam Bradford, and I do know they have an NFL-ready quarterback in Josh Rosen. They still have David Johnson as a running back, which he's a very good running back. They drafted Christian Kirk. They have Larry Fitzgerald. They have Jermaine Gresham. Their offense is pretty deadly.
Yeah, it's really solid.
Their defense isn't as scary, but they got some good players over there on their defense also. They got Patrick Peterson. They got Brandon Williams, who's not bad. They got Chandler Jones. I mean, there's a lot of people on their defense that could be very good, and I think that Arizona is going to take this game from us.
I had us winning this one. Actually.
Really? Yeah, that's my first loss.
Because I looked at the roster and not knowing that none of that quarterback doesn't scare me. No matter who they start. If they start Glennon, if they start Bradford, if they start. I know Bradford's giving us some fits.
I guarantee right now, and it's not going to happen, but if they started Mike Glennon, I guarantee we'd lose that game.
And he'd go off for like 5 touchdowns.
He'd throw 500 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, and he would just literally
just lit us up. Like I said, I like this matchup for the Bears. Like you said, the defense, they kind of piece things together. I don't think it's that scary. Their offense, yeah, sure, they have some weapons on it, but I mean, if your quarterback can't get the ball to your weapons, it doesn't matter. We don't know what David Johnson's going to look like after the surgery and having a rough go last year with I think he tore an ACL. So this is one of these two that I looked at and I said it wouldn't surprise me if they won, and it also wouldn't surprise me if they lost. Because there's just so many question marks up in the air for Arizona. We don't know who's going to start. We don't know who's going to be on the field and healthy. It's hard to make these picks, but I had them winning this one based on the rosters today.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just still think they lose that game. But then coming up against having Tampa here in Chicago, I have us losing to Tampa Bay. I think that's a team that's out here trying to prove something. They have plenty of offensive weapons that I think that are going to give the Bears fits. Their defense has been kind of revamped, added some good draft picks over there on the D. So I honestly think that we end up losing and we fall to 2-2 with playing Tampa.
I had them losing as well. Jameis Winston, for some reason or another, always gives us fits. I don't know why. He always seems to bring it. I think this is one of these games that our corners maybe get kind of torched a little bit because, while I do think that Fuller had a good season last year, him against Mike Evans, I'll take Mike Evans all day. Not
to mention they got Deshaun Jackson over there.
Yeah, right. It's not a good matchup for the Bears. And they just got a new running back, so who knows how that's going to be regarding, their running game because they need something to lean on. Obviously, Jameis kind of puts the ball.
Their defense and then plus
their defense is pretty solid.
Jason Pierre-Paul, Gerald McCoy, Vita Vea come in there with first-round draft pick.
Tampa Bay is low-key. They could have a really solid team next year.
Do you know who they're still starting at their strong safety?
Who? Chris Conte?
The one and the only. The one and the only, Kyle.
Well, Randall Cobb will run right by him.
Again. So I have us falling 2-2 when it comes to that. And then our next game, which is against Miami. Miami has all sorts of problems.
They're terrible.
They have all sorts of problems. I actually have us beating Miami in Miami.
So do I. This one's cut and paste. They're terrible.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill's bad. Brock Osweiler's bad. They got Frank Gore. He's old. Their wide receiver. They got Kenny Stills.
Yeah. They traded everybody.
They had a fire sale, so for the 2019 draft, they're going to be up there.
Agreed.
So
this is cut and paste. The Bears should win this one.
Yeah, Bears should win that one. Patriots, all said and done, boys.
It's a loss.
Boys and girls, we already know.
There we go. Over.
I'm not even going to break that game down. The New York Jets.
Give me a win in that one.
I actually have us winning that one.
I do too.
So
I think that's pretty cut and paste. Their new quarterback, not very talented. I think we're a little bit better. Obviously, I couldn't say that we're talented because
I'm super goddamn talented.
But yeah, I got him. Winning this.
Yeah,
one.
I mean Todd Bowles. He's going to be bringing in with a brand new quarterback here. You still got Josh McCown, but they drafted Sam Darnold, and I understand Sam Darnold's behind Teddy Bridgewater and Josh McCown. McCown.
Well, for now.
Yeah, for now. That's not going to last long. That's going to be a storyline all year. The whole nine. I don't completely understand what's got what their direction is, but I mean getting Sam Darnold for them was pretty big. So, we'll take it. We'll take it as it is with that. While Juice is going to pee or whatever the hell he's doing right now, going to plug once again. If you are watching on YouTube, please like, comment, and subscribe. Read awesome articles on sportsmockery.com. Check out all of our other shows here on Most Valuable Podcasts, such as the Onside Kick for all your NFL news, such as the Fast Break for all of your NBA news, and the Primetime Podcast for all your college basketball and football needs. That's about it. I could sit here and stare at the camera. I don't want to continue going on because, he's going to break it down, then I'm going to get super far ahead of him. But you know what? Screw it. I could be a one-man gig. I don't need any goddamn help. So, Sean McDermott's Buffalo Bills are up next, and in this game, I have the Bears losing to the Buffalo Bills. What do you got for that?
The Bills are good. Their defense is good. I know that they don't have the quarterback situation set and ready to go.
I love the competition, though, between a quarterback who didn't get a chance in A.J. McCarron and a drafted quarterback in Josh Allen.
I do, too. I just don't know. Obviously, there's so much up in the air with that. We don't know if any of these guys are going to be good. But the defense is just so electric.
Badass. We mean adding Tremaine Edmonds and all them?
Yeah. They're going to be a really scary group. It wouldn't surprise me if they're like number one in the league because they get a lot of pressure on the quarterback already. They added a freak in Edmonds.
Mm-hmm.
So I have them losing this one to the Circle the Wagon Buffalo Bills.
Gotcha. I also have them losing. Then moving forward to the Detroit Lions game, and this is versus the Lions, so this means this is at home at Soldier Field. We're going to steal this one.
Agreed.
We're going to steal this one against Detroit.
We're going to take it.
Like we are. We're going to take it. We're going to give it
sucks.
to them. Yeah. Screw you, Detroit.
Screw you, Detroit.
I don't care what you think.
Chicago podcast.
Boy.
No, I just at home, Matt Stafford, he turns the ball over a decent amount. Detroit doesn't scare me either.
Nah.
They're a team that's just kind of stuck in mediocrity.
Exactly.
Really, when you look at it.
But I do think they're better than us right now.
Agreed.
But I do feel that
we're not even mediocre yet.
No, we do steal this game though. Then we play the Vikings. We're losing. The Vikings are the best team in the NFC. Maybe Los Angeles will give them some fits along with Philadelphia, of course. Philadelphia won the Super Bowl, and that's who provides our opening song, Circa Survive, from the state of Pennsylvania, and they are fans of the Philadelphia Eagles. I forget to say that sometimes. There's a sign over there and they're tattooed on my arm. Love you guys if you're watching. Anyway, but the Vikings are
good.
Them, Los Angeles, and Philly. I'm very, very interested to see what happens with that race. I mean, I'm not going to get into that right now.
Man,
like they added Kirk Cousins, who's a damn good quarterback.
He is. He's going to slang.
He's got weapons around him. That defense is scary. Team. They're talking about the purple people eaters are back.
Well, I don't know about that.
Hey,
that defense was crazy good back in the day.
It was, but they're very good now too.
No, agreed. But they're like we've addressed. They have a short run here, because they're gonna have to pay.
I think they got a 3-year window.
They're gonna have to pay some people though.
Right.
You know, there's some contracts that on that defensive line that they're gonna have to address. They might not be able to keep everybody.
They have a 2-3-year window here. I mean, just for this year coming up, they're gonna kick our ass.
Yeah, agreed. I didn't have us winning one against them.
Neither do I. So moving into the Lions at Detroit. And I do believe that is on Thanksgiving. The Lions are going to get on that. They're going to win that.
Yeah, I agree.
They're going to win that at home.
Yeah.
I think that Detroit's going to be a lot better than people think. I think that we actually have. I think that we have. Dude, we have the hardest. I feel like it's the hardest division.
Yeah, it's there
in football. I mean,
you can't count out any team with Aaron Rodgers on it.
Every team. Kirk Cousins is a good damn quarterback, and now he has weapons around him.
Detroit gonna Detroit though.
Yeah, Detroit gonna Detroit for sure. But that's not the point. They're good. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, and you have a monster team in Minnesota. We have a rough division, and I think we're losing this game to Detroit.
So do I. They're at home. It's Thanksgiving. They're going to be in the thick of the race, maybe, for a wild card spot. Because I think Minnesota's running away with the division. So it's really going to be a fight to see between Green Bay and Detroit to see who gets into the playoffs. And who even knows with that? Obviously, the West is going to be a lot better than we think too, because Jimmy Garoppolo out there won 5 in a row, and they made some good moves. Which we'll talk about in a second here. But yeah, I have them losing that one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And then we're going to lose again to the Giants.
Ooh, interesting. See,
I think
them winning this one.
I think the Giants are going to come play this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do. I honestly, I think that the Giants are going to come out and be a lot better than they were last year.
To me, they still have Eli Manning.
They had so many injuries last year.
Yeah, but they still have Eli Manning. He still turns the ball over eventually a lot of times. I think maybe this is and actually, see, looking at this schedule, it was hard for me not to have them go 5-11.
Ooh.
Because the back end of the schedule is just so rough. You're going to play in Detroit on Thanksgiving, followed by at New York. So you're in New York. Then you play, to me, the Rams are the low-key going to be right there.
Dark horse Super Bowl candidates.
Then Green Bay at home with Aaron Rodgers late in the year, who is always fighting for a playoff spot and brings the A game. And then you're looking at the 49ers, who decent. We've talked about this just a few seconds ago. They made a lot of moves. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a good player. And then you got the Vikings at home, which this one could be a win because the Vikings could have everything.
Oh, if they have a very good record, they're going to sit their starters.
Right.
Right. I mean, that could happen, but right now we don't know, so that's why obviously, we don't know what their record's going to be. But
so to me.
But I do think the reason I'm picking
the back end of the schedule is so difficult.
It is difficult, but I do think that New York comes out and wins this game. I think that Odell Beckham Jr. is coming back. They have Cody Latimer. They have some weapons on the offensive end with adding Saquon Barkley. Let's see how he does. Their defense ain't half bad. They're not great,
right?
But they're not half bad. I think that the Bears get in their head here, and I think they lose this game. I also have them losing Week 14 to the Rams at home.
Okay. See, I have them beating the Giants, and that's the last win of the season for them.
Okay.
And then I have them losing out.
So you have them losing from there. Okay, that's fine.
Which, if you look at the schedule, I'm not going to pick. See, the Packer game, I could see them winning.
They're winning
at home.
Yeah, they're winning that.
Because
I picked them to win that.
Depending on how healthy Aaron Rodgers is, because the last couple of years he really hasn't been, it's a whole different team.
I did this as realistic as I possibly could, but I'm going to be honest with you.
We're probably way off.
I'm not picking them to lose the bet. I'm not going to do that.
You just have them win them both.
Right. I'm going to do that every time,
so 2-14, and then they just win both
games events. But yeah.
I would be happy with that.
Me too. I'd be fine. But yeah, so I have them actually beating the Packers and beating the 49ers in San Fran.
Okay. See, I have them losing to the Rams, losing to the Packers, losing to 49ers, losing to the Vikings.
And then I have them coming off of the last game of the season. And the only reason I had them beating the 49ers is because of your love for Jimmy G. And his hometown team's going to go in there and smack his little ass around.
Okay, see, and this is gonna preview Week 16 like now, because to me, this is the ultimate Bears moment. We're gonna realize if you should have made the move for Jimmy G, or if you're better off with Mitch Trubisky. You know, and it could end up being that they're both really, really good. You know, and you're all right. But one of them, to me, is already really good, and I'm a firm believer in Jimmy G strictly because I think that he's got it between the head. You know, he was coached up. He has the ability and the quick release to be a good football player, a good quarterback in this league. I'm a believer in what he's doing, and it's not just because he lived across the street from me when I went to Eastern Illinois, but I really do think that he's capable of being a good quarterback in the league. And
I'm not saying
the defense got better for the 49ers.
I'm not saying that he's not a good quarterback. I'm just saying that to pull your chain a little bit, I think that we're going to go in there and smack their ass around because I don't like San Francisco. So, you know,
that's fair.
Yeah. They've added pieces. They're going to be a good team, but I think the Bears steal that one. Give us, one more win before we come back and we lose to the Vikings to end our depressing 7-9 season.
What is up with this schedule of us always ending the year in Minnesota? Have you noticed that? I think it's like 3 years in a row.
Is it?
They've ended the year in Minnesota.
I never pay attention, yeah.
So I know they did last year, but I know they are again. But yeah, I had them at 6-10. I know that's our listeners are going to probably be like, oh, well.
Oh yeah, but don't you know what they added? Like, guys, yeah, we know what they added, but it's the 8th toughest schedule in the league with a brand new coach, Mitch, who is having to learn a brand new system.
Right.
Like, again, you know, and a lot of these players having to learn a brand new system. Like, there's a lot of factors here, man. Like, our defense can hold up. I just think that per matchups, per how the schedule looks, I just think we're not a playoff team. We're not getting a wild card. So I'm thinking 7-9, 8-8 is fair. I have them at 7-9.
See, I have them at 6-10. They have the pick, you know, within the top 8 at that point, I believe, and they pick a pass rusher, and then next year they come out ready to make playoffs. Right. Because I think that all these wide receivers are going to need a year to learn the system, and I mean, you got a couple coming back from major injuries. Obviously, Mitch learning a new system. I like Nagy. I think he's going to be a great coach in this league. I think that the Bears are going to be someone to be reckoned with for a while in the NFC North. I just think that this is the last year we got to suffer. You know,
let's hope so.
And at that point, we'll have our playoff tickets, and the podcast will be through the roof, and we'll be famous. And
yep, we'll be doing a lot of cool things.
So, but yeah, no, I have some optimism for the Bears. I think the Bears, for me, I picked them at 6-10 looking at the schedule. But if you told me tomorrow that it's 100% certainty that they're going to go 9-7, wouldn't be surprised either. Right. Because, I mean, a coach like Nagy and a system like Nagy, if it works, will resonate throughout the league and throughout Hallis Hall. You know, it'll stay and it will keep. And if people really do believe in it, then, hey, this, as Michael Jordan said, the ceiling is the roof. So to me, I'm hoping, fingers crossed. I hope I'm wrong. 9-7. I hope I flip this. I hope we flip this and we're 10-6 and we're not talking about. You know,
and then we're talking about playoffs.
Right.
Yeah. No, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm just giving I'm giving the people my real, honest to God opinion. You know, I pay to go see this team. I love this team, and this is what the case is, man. This is my opinion. But again, if you were watching on YouTube, I know I just said it while he was doing his thing. If you were watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Throw some ideas down there on what you guys want us to talk about next regarding the Bears, regarding any Chicago team, really, or any team that you want to hear about.
Up our sleeve too, because we want to try to do some training camp stuff.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not maybe there, but like maybe film some stuff and bring you, some content that way. We got a lot we're working out with the Bears, and this is kind of like we were doing position breakdowns for a while, and I think we can get back to doing those now.
Yeah, it makes sense now that we're kind of where we're at. So,
but. This is kind of like the lull before training camp, before everything starts to kind of pick up. So if you guys really want to comment below and give us some ideas, man. Like if you want us to even go back and talk about old Bears, we'll talk 85. We'll talk the teams in the 90s and 2000s and Mike Brown years and we could do a lot of things here. This is for you guys.
Absolutely.
For Chicago, by Chicago.
All day. Make sure you go to patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. Donate or earn yourself some cool prizes. Go to mostvaluablepodcast.com. Get yourself a cool t-shirt. See all the other shows that we have, such as the Primetime Podcast, the Onside Kick, and the Fast Break. Go to itunes.com or iTunes app, whatever the hell it is, and drop us a 5-star rating down below and a comment. Or drop us a 5-star rating and a comment down below on why you chose to listen to us. We will be on there eventually. Right now,
we're working through it,
doing what we got to do. But yeah, check all that out.
Any guests for next week, Buzz? You're thinking
For what?
for the pod? Any guests? We've had some guests on recently.
I really want to get Kyle Hood on from Three Guys Sports. I'd really love to get him on. I'd really love to get Zoe or Eric Lambert from. Or even Eastman from Sports Mockery on. As of right now, I haven't really talked to anybody about doing it because we had guests 2 weeks in a row and we haven't really got to break anything down. But I mean, there's some things in the works. If something hot happens, like especially with the NBA, we got guys.
Bring somebody in.
We got guys for that now.
Maybe Kelly again.
Yeah. Anytime. I told Kelly anytime he wants to come on, he can come on. But I'm thinking I would really like to have Kyle Hood from @3GuySports on Twitter on, or Keith from @BullScripted, because I mean Keith is the one who is high on Kevin Knox, like super high on Kevin Knox. So
maybe we'll do. Each team will have a guest for one of these pods coming up.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
I think
we got some Bears guys, we got some Bulls guys, and we got some Cubs and Sox. So maybe each team will get a fresh view of not just us kind of jamming information down people's throat.
Yeah, exactly.
Fresh views are always
fresh,
good.
Raw perspective, and not just hearing us talk about the same stuff every episode makes the world go around. So thank you guys for listening to episode 11. We'll be back next Thursday. Well, that's when we record. We'll be back next Thursday with episode 12. Let us know what you guys want to hear, and we appreciate all your time and listening to us and all the support. Later.
Thanks.